to all of students of Saraswati Vidya Mandir class 9. We are in chapter 1 of economics, Palampur gaon ki kahani, a hypothetical village, as we already stated about that Palampur, through Palampur gaon ki kahani, students get knowledge of economy. In Palampur gaon ki kahani, the agriculture is primary sector, and primary sector agriculture, and in agriculture process there were two types of factors, fixed factor and working factor. Fixed factors, as I defined previously, those factors which cannot be changed or varies with the variation in production, like land. Other working factors or variable factors were called those factors which get change or varies with the variation in production, like seeds, machine, etc. In Palampur, there are 450 families, and most of families get their occupation and livelihood from agriculture process. 80% of upper caste have land majority, but rest have a very little bit land slots. 1/3 population from scheduled caste, and the most important problem under agriculture, that low productivity and small holdings of land create a major problem in agriculture sector in Palampur. As we know that agriculture is a labor intensive production process. There are two types of production process, a labor intensive production process and another is capital intensive production process. Labor intensive production process were called those production process in which there were lot of labor engaged and least of capital engaged. On the other hand, capital intensive process were called those process in which more of capital engaged and least of labor engaged. But in India, agriculture is still a labor intensive process, production process. The next problem is small holdings, is a big problem. Less than 2 hectare, the 80% lands were holdings were less than 2 hectare, and least holdings of land, small holdings of land is a big challenge in mechanization, commercialization and marketization of agriculture. Then the next question is the question is how agriculture productivity can increase at scale land holdings or small land holdings. कैसे हम उत्पादकता को बढ़ा सकते हैं सीमित भूमि से. तो in 1965 there were invention of seeds which is known as HYV seeds. Through these seeds, HYV seeds, high yielding variety seeds, and that seed were invented by St. Norman Borlaug. For this they got a Nobel Prize for Peace. High yielding variety seeds from 1965 और 70 के दशक में इस सीड्स का यूज शुरू हुआ, and through use of HYV seeds there were initiation of green revolution in agriculture sector, and under this seed not only HYV seeds were enough to increase the productivity, but it also combined with chemical fertilizer, irrigation facilities, pesticides or use of machinery. And after green revolution there were totally commercialization, mechanization and marketization of agriculture can be possible. Apart from green revolution were much successful in southern India, northeast Uttar Pradesh, in especially in the crop of wheat, potato and maize. Apart from green revolution, there were another way to increase the agriculture productivity on scale land holdings, that is multiple cropping. Multiple cropping refers that process in which we get two crop at the same time in the same field. For example, like jowar and bajra, we can produce it. In Palampur gaon, there were a huge problem in front of agriculture. There were lack of machinery, there were lack of warehouses, there were a lack of supply chain, etc. And through Green Revolution, the most of problem going to be sought out. But after Green Revolution, agriculture became a capitalistic way. It means that after Green Revolution or HYB seeds, the agriculture process were capital intensive, became capital intensive, in which the small farmers felt themselves incapable to provide these all things towards agriculture, and due to this they were increase the burden of debt in agriculture sector on farmers, small farmers especially. And there were also a problem arise of much production, and how to be going to be supplied that production to get a good value of production. For this mass number of warehouses should be created, and other problem going to be solved. In next topic, in next video, we going to be ahead from this topic.